transport, we know, is the only thing that moves people and goods from one geographical place to another. It's the only thing that makes places and land uses functional and meaningful. So without a good transportation system, that connectivity fails. It's also one thing that connects people socially, in terms of if you move by bus, you're sitting with people, you're connecting with people. If you walk, you're connecting with people. And we need that social interaction. Now, economic equality comes in because people should be enabled in the same way, in an equal way, to move because they need to make some economic steps in their lives, economic growth. But when you see a transportation system that is not well balanced, that is not inclusive, that means that deliberately the economic inequality is going to be experienced, it's going to come out because some people will not be able to access jobs because of mobility. So if someone does not access their job, how are they going to survive? How are they going to take care of their families? If a transportation system is unsafe and you have highways, you don't have speed limits, you don't have people, places, you don't have streets for people, you don't have streets for cyclists, it means that those that are subjected to walk in an unsafe environment are going to be subjected to mental torture, psychological torture, but also in the worst case scenario, they are killed, they are knocked by cars. That's why we are saying we need to see that linkage very strong, that all social groups benefit from a transportation system, but also at the macro level, cities, nations without a good transportation system will not have their GDP high. They will not have their GDP go up because goods are not moving efficiently. There's a lot of time lost in traffic jam. There's air pollution and respiratory diseases. There's obesity in hospitals, and government is spending so much money. Families are spending so much money in hospitals. It is complete inequality by design, and it can be reversed also by design. It has to be made available, and the efficient mode should be available. In this case, public transport, walking and cycling. This will enable the larger groups of people socially to be part of movement efficiently, but also it will enable even the rich people to move by choice how they like, because if you have a car, it does not mean that you're rich, and if you don't have a car, it does not mean that you're poor. So if you are all moving by bus, the rich and the poor, that is a very good thing for a nation. The countries can also ensure that they have budgets allocated appropriately. Why should private car networks have higher budgets than public transport networks? Why should walkways be abandoned and bicycle lanes be abandoned and the motorways are given so much focus? I think governments can do this, but they can also partner with the private investors who are willing to invest in public transport, for example. I think governments will find it very difficult to provide subsidies to run cities with public transport. There has to be a mechanism of incentives in other ways for the investor to make business out of public transport. And in that way, people will be able to run around their businesses, to go to school, to go to health facilities, recreation in an efficient way, and the inequalities will be reduced over time. Knowledge sharing in a scenario like this, what we had today and yesterday, is very critical, especially if we are geographically from different contexts, because you learn from the mistakes of the past, you also learn from successes elsewhere, but you also get networks for partnerships, for real work to be done in a good way. So we keep learning, we make mistakes, but when we share this knowledge, we are definitely going to make it. And innovation is being misinterpreted to be more of technological. It's not. There's innovation in applying the old school solutions, sitting with people, letting the people lead from the bottom. If it's been a top-down way of doing things, you can be innovative and let the local leaders take the lead. And I think for me that innovation is working very well, that people are leading from the bottom, and then we have real changes that they will own and use and even ask for more.